Ahoy, shipmates! What an absolutely fantastic sunrise here in Cowes. This is from Cowes Cam. The Seven Seas Voyager arriving in the Solent to a simply marvellous sunrise this morning. I thought I would show you this from the Cowes Cam, as by the time she gets to port, the sunrise has gone. And here she is in the port of Southampton. As you can see, there is no sign of that sunrise at all. It's probably only about, I would say, probably 45 minutes away, half an hour, somewhere in that sort of region. But it makes all the difference, and I've often said before in films, it's to try and get the sunrise coming up and the ship in port all at the same time is really tricky. Doesn't often happen, so when it does happen, it's quite spectacular. But anyway, we saw that this morning on Cowes Cam. The Regent Seven Seas Voyager was launched in September of 2001. And she was completed in February of 2003, so it makes her a relatively old ship. She's on the smaller side as well, 42,000 gross tons on a length of 206 metres. Beam of 28 metres and a draft of 7. 12 decks in total. And she has 4 Wastalia engines, generating 4 times 5,760 kilowatts. The propulsion is by diesel electric, 2 Dolphin azimuth thrusters. I'll see if we can get quite close here to the bow. There we go. Did take a couple of shots, but they didn't come out very well. I thought I would just follow the Seven Seas Voyager in. She's got a lovely bright white hull. Can't see too many rust lines. Looks like she's kept in a good shape. Top speed of the Seven Seas Voyager is 20 knots, or 37 kilometres an hour for all you continental types, or 23 miles per hour in the King's units. You can just see ever such a hint of the sunrise in the background, but it really has all gone. We'll have a look at the pointy end from the other side. Can't see too many people. There was a deckhand walking around earlier, I saw, but she has capacity for 706 passengers and 447 crew. That's not too bad, quite reasonable. A few interesting clouds up there in the sky, but not as good as it would have been if I was droning off of Cowes. Never mind. Every cabin on the Seven Seas Voyager is a suite with a balcony. That's a rather unusual feature. You wouldn't have to worry about which cabin you took on the Seven Seas Voyager, as you're always going to get a balcony. Interestingly, in 2006, Forbes.com had an article about the Seven Seas Voyager, and at the time, she had the most expensive Asian cruise in the world. Who knows what prices are today? I'm sure if you went on the website, you could probably find out. It's quite a still morning here in the Port of Southampton. You can see the water is very flat. No seagulls or birds to worry about taking the drone out. Clear sky. It's a little bit on the chillier side, but generally very decent morning. I'm going to scoot around to the other side of the Seven Seas Voyager so that we can take a photograph. I might try one. Actually, I want to try one from the stern here. I quite like this stern. Interesting stern. There we go. That's the 70s Voyager. Yeah, it's got quite an attractive stern. A whole lot of balconies on the stern. I think we've discussed previously that would be probably my preferred location for a cabin. I think the cabins on the bows, a couple of shipmates have suggested, can be rather drafty. Probably not so bad when you're coming into port. You enjoy the good view, but when you're underway, very drafty. We have another ship here in port as well. They almost look identical, don't they, shipmates? Slightly different feature of the rear. Yes, the treatment of the rear is slightly different, but almost like sister ships. Certainly with 106 passengers on board and a length of 200 metres, probably not too busy, but again, you wouldn't feel alone, I don't think. Just about see the sunrise going on over there in the distance as well. It does come and go during the course of the sunrise, depending on where the sun's creeping past the clouds. Just unfortunately we didn't get the conditions in port this time. As you would expect with any cruise ship, there are a number of restaurants on board. I was surprised to find there was in fact 7 on board. There's Chartreuse, a French fine dining restaurant with a modern twist. Coffee Connection is an informal destination, apparently. Compass Rose is the largest restaurant on board. La Veranda is great for days on high seas with sumptuous breakfast and freshly baked delights. The Pool Grill is al fresco style dining, and Prime 7 is an elegant steakhouse with classic American fare. And last but not least is Set Maria alla Verenda, an authentic Italian specialty restaurant. Of course, along with the restaurants, you need some bars. There is a casino on board and a whole entertainment theatre. I'm surprised actually what they managed to pack into such a small cruise ship. So this is amazing. There's the Connoisseur Club. It has rare vintage cognac or port. Sounds like a lovely place. There's the Constellation Theatre and the Horizon Lounge. Ideal place for classic cocktails. Observation Lounge, where you can see forward, and the Voyager Lounge, which is a perfect late-night nightclub venue. Also, at this time when we're on board, it's the commercial boat show. This is not the Southampton International Boat Show. This is a commercial boat show, which is rather different, much smaller. I rather like it. The vessels are particularly weird and wonderful. You see all sorts coming up Southampton water. Various different designs and peculiarities. It's quite fun to look them up on the internet and try and work out what they do and what they're for. I think this day and age with renewable energies and offshore wind turbines, there is not a lot of offshore support vessels. The one that particularly caught my eye is at the other end. So this one here has got a big crane on the front. They all seem to be catamarans. I think that aids for stability. This one's a hybrid. This one's also got a crane on the front. And also, again, it's a catamaran. But this one at the end, I say it's a catamaran. It is a catamaran, but it has a very unusual hull configuration. Reminds me somewhat of a paddle boat that you see on the islands in the Pacific, where the natives have an outrigger. Obviously, this is not a paddle boat. There is one large main hull on the starboard side, and the port side just has a very small outrigger. In fact, in sort of current configuration, it's out of the water. I'm guessing the sort of hull shape on the port side, aids stability when the sea gets a bit rough and keeps it from wobbling around too much. How about that though? Fascinating, isn't it? Well, hope you enjoyed that one, shipmates. If you do enjoy the channel, please do think about subscribing. Just quick thanks to all my subscribers, Patreons, PayPal donors. Until next time, shipmates.